Hey y'all, welcome to Let's Roll Outdoors. We are doing some drum fishing today. We did some maintenance on the boat, so I needed to run it, and I had no intention of making a video today. So that's what we're gonna start today. We're gonna start with the Instagram video. It's vertical, it's not the right format, but it's how we started today's action. We got out there, we started catching fish, and I was like, man, we need to start filming. Let's make a new episode of Let's Roll Outdoors. So that's what we're gonna start with today. I'm gonna show you how we caught these guys. So bear with us on the mixed up format on this video. We're just all messed up as usual on Let's Roll Outdoors. That's what we do. We put our stuff in the boat, we put our stuff in the truck, and we roll to go catch some fish and make fun videos for you. So enough talking, I'm gonna show you how we got these guys. Let's roll. Y'all, welcome to the Instagram Let's Roll Outdoors. We're out here doing some inshore fishing for red drum and whatever else you like. Nice red drum coming to the boat right now. Caught him on a paddle tail. Get him in the net. Right there. Come over here. Come here. Come on this side. Come on this side so you can see the net. All right. Let's see him. Out there. All right, folks. There we go. Nice red drum on the paddle tail. All right. Let's roll. That one's too big. Alright, folks, here we go. Hey, got us another one. Oh, it just came off. Just came off. Alright, so this is what we're doing. We're throwing this little paddle tail, electric chicken, and them drums seem to be liking it today. Let's see if we can get hooked up again. Are we live? Alright, welcome to Let's Roll Outdoors, everybody. We're just doing a simple inshore fishing trip today. It is the middle of April. It's turkey season, but we're out here fishing because it's also fishing season. I got the whole family in here, got the kids, and we're catching red drum right now up in here in these shallow marsh areas. And I'm using an electric chicken paddle bait on a small jig head, 1/8 of an ounce jig head. All right, and the boys are trying some top waters and some other lures because we can see the drum boiling back here. So we know we're in fish. I've already landed one. We got one in the live well. If I could spit that out, all right? And let me show you what we're doing, okay? I just got this paddle tail, and I'm just fan casting. I'm fan casting this whole area, left, right, up, and down. We just keep casting over and over, and I'm just reeling it really slow. I'll give it a couple bounces, just like that. And wait for a drum to hit. So we've been in these drum for a little while. Here, kind of pan out. You can see this flat that we're fishing here. And every once in a while, you can see these drum boil, and you'll see them boil right up along the grass. They'll boil out in front of us. So we know there's schooling fish in here. We're kind of stick it out for a little while, let the sunset happen, and see if we can get some more fish. One just boiled right by my line right there. All right, so where we're at is kind of shallow. We keep pulling up this springtime grass that's growing in here, this slimy algae. All right, fish don't care; they're up in here feeding. But yeah, I'm using this. I've got a shock leader here, or actually this is a rub leader. All right, this is a 20-pound test right here, either mono or fluoro. I don't think the drum really care too much. It's dingy water, and I'm just using a 6-foot medium rod that you could you could basically buy in Walmart. Let's see what kind of this is. A Pinnacle rod, and this is a, I don't even know what kind of reel. This is just all our junk inshore mix and match rods and reels we got going on here. That one. Oh, here we go, action packed. All right, while I'm talking. All right, and you can see he's got kind of the same setup, 4,000 size reel, but you can have a 2,000 to 4,000 size reel. This reel right here has 12-pound test. Looks like you got a little bit of a smaller one here. Let's see what you got. All right. Got a smaller drum here on, what is that? Some kind of mullet swim bait. It's using a little mullet swim bait there. So like I said, we're just in here fan casting. Got us a nice little red drum. One spot there, little blue tail. Good stuff. All right. So before I was rudely interrupted by this fish, what I was saying is, my point is that you could come out here and do this kind of fishing with some very simple tackle, all right? 6-foot rod, 7-foot rod, medium action, medium light action, depending on how crazy you want to get. All right, but there's a chance of catching some big drummer in here right now. So, you know, some 30 inches, between 35 inches, some keeper size, and then obviously the rat reds. They're all kind of mixed up in here right now with the springtime schools. So my lure's kind of messed up right here. I'm just gonna bite off a little bit, thread my jig head back on there, like so. Push it up. All right, I'm just gonna keep casting this thing left and right. This rod right here, I've got braided line. This is 20-pound braid. The rod he's using right there has actually just 12-pound test. Most of our rods, it's all about 20-pound braid or 10 or 12-pound test mono. Simple fishing. Throw a lure, keep casting, wait for a fish to bite. Enjoy the evening. Oh look, there was a fish just busted way up there. All right, so they're here. They're here. Here, look, here's this film, look. I was using the lure rod right here. Whee! And then we had a bait rod. We just had a chunk of mullet sitting out the back. And it just went off. Here we go. So what we did, we caught some mullets in the throw net earlier. And we had a real big one. So I just took that one and I filleted it. I took a chunk about 4 inches and just hooked it on a circle hook. Casted it out there with a bobber. And simple as that. We got a nice red drum going on here. I'm gonna try to net this one. This one feels like a decent one.
I got it. Get here, guys.
Woo! Pulling the drag. Pulling the drag. So I got a circle hook on this one, about a 3/0 circle hook. So when I saw that bobber go down, I basically just reeled up all the slack. Oh look, a fish just busted right out there. So we got schools of drum all in here. I think we're seeing trout bust as well. It looks a little bit different than the drum. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this guy. It's a 20 inch. All right, nice light tackle action here. 6-foot rod and medium action rod. And I'm just gonna kind of walk him back to the net. All right, he's in the net. Boom. Good stuff. All right, let me show him to you. Look at that, perfect. Circle hook right in the side of the mouth, corner right there. And this is all it is, just a bobber and a hook. All right, folks, I'm gonna get this guy off. We're actually gonna keep a few drum. I gotta do a little fish fry. All right, so we're gonna keep a few drum today. Go ahead and clean them up later. But that's all we're doing. Throwing lures, throwing baits, sitting back here in the pocket of a marsh, catching red drum. So I just got another little, a fresh piece of cut bait here. All right, 3/0 circle hook. And this one's the last bait I had the bone still in it. This one's just a floppy piece. You could probably just hook it like that. It wouldn't make a difference, but I like to hook it at least twice. So I'm gonna come down that flap of meat, hook it through twice, so it'll be flapping like that in the water. And again, we're just fan casting the lures, and this thing, I'm just gonna fling out there in the middle so it's kind of out of the way. And it's just gonna drift around out there with the wind. Got the drag set, so if a fish hits, you can pull it. Simple as that. All right, let's get back to throwing some of these lures here. All right, just playing. But all right. So I got the little girl hooked up here. All right. We weren't filming while I was casting, or while she was casting. I can't even speak right now. All right, nice little drum. Let's see if we can just land this one. Here we go. Get in the boat. Yay! All right. Looks like a keeper drum here. Probably a 19, 20 incher. And we're gonna throw that thing in there with the rest of the fish. Throw them in the live well there. And here we go. Again, paddle tail. Got a light jig head on this one. This is the same rod we've been using. Electric chicken paddle tail. 6-foot medium rod. casting and reeling. And we're casting and reeling. We let it stop every once in a while. I bounce it a couple times and just try different retrieves. Sometimes they like it one way. Sometimes they like it another way. And sometimes they like it how she casts it. All right, I'm gonna go use a different lure. She's gonna go try to catch another one. And we're just, we pulled out of that little bay area that we were tucked up in, and we just came out around a point, and we're just kind of working the banks now. It's high tide. The tide stopped moving, and I think that's where the fishing kind of slowed down. We still see fish busting every once in a while, but really key here is the tide, all right? So if you're not familiar with saltwater fishing, or maybe you are and never really thought about it, but you obviously peak feeding times are when the tides are moving, right? Incoming tide, outgoing tide. You find different structure and look how the tide moves over that structure. And so where we were at, the tide was coming in and was pushing bait to the back of that bay, and the drum were just pushing that bait up in there, and they were feeding and schooled up in there. And I think the tide is flooded in now, and it's kind of still, all right? It's evening, which is good, right? But the tide is still. So we're just kind of burning these banks, just looking for maybe an active fish that maybe want to hit a lure here at the end of the day. And we might stay out here through the evening into the nighttime and wait for the tide to start going back out and see if the fishing picks back up. So just something to think about. If you've been on some fish and they just stop biting, or you stop seeing the activity, the area you're in, maybe that tide has changed to a certain way that the fish are not feeding in that spot anymore and they've moved out. Or they've just gone, they've just gone to a different part of that area that you're fishing just because of the water that either flooded in or flooded out. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. Just kind of always putting the puzzle together. You can't just sit in one spot for hours and hours and hours and wonder why you're not catching fish. So sometimes it's just the tide. Sometimes you can fish a spot for a long time just knowing that the fish are coming, right? So some of us have done that before. We're like, I'm in a spot, I'm not moving. I know the fish are on their way, all right? It's just not, it's not rush hour yet. So we sit in a spot for a long time waiting for the tide to get just right. And sometimes that bite is on fire for a small part of time, and then it's over with. So the tides are critical, and I think that's what we're running into right now. It's high tide, it's dead. We still see bait fish. We still see fish busting every once in a while, but it's just not the action that we were seeing earlier. So like I said, we're up here burning the banks, got the trolling motor going, trying different lures, enjoying the sunset. All right, everyone, we did fish till dark, but I got no more fishing footage to show you. that was it. We landed, I think, 4. We landed 4 drum, lost 2. One was a good one. They're all good ones. They're all fun to catch, and they're all good ones. But one looked like a really big drum in the 30-inch range, maybe over 30. I still got my life jacket on. I just hopped out the boat, get in the truck. I'm gonna go put the boat on the trailer. I'll show you the fish real quick, and we'll wrap it up. All right, y'all, here we go. We made it home, and we got some fish to deal with. Let's see here. I just appreciate y'all always joining us on our Let's Roll Outdoors adventures. All right, got some red drum here. We got one more in here. This guy's still shaking. He's still shaking. All right, we got one more. Actually, we got 3 keeper drum today. All right, we're gonna make a good little meal out of these guys. All right, so Let's Roll Outdoors did it again today. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed that action. Sorry for the different formats, but hey, we were just excited to get out there, run the boat after doing some maintenance on it, and actually catch some fish. It was just a random let's roll kind of afternoon, and you joined us catching some red drum. So thanks for joining us today. We're gonna flush the motor here. We're gonna spray off all our fishing gear. Little tip there, if you fish in salt water, make sure you flush the motor, wash the trailer, wash the boat, wash all your fishing gear, get all that salt off your gear, all right? And then you join us next time on Let's Roll Outdoors. Hopefully you have some more fishing and hunting action coming your way soon. All right, let's roll.